Good evening. Welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. The Mueller investigation appears to be moving in directions that nobody could have anticipated, none of them obviously connected to Russian meddling in the past presidential election. So what is the point of all of this, and when and where does it end, if ever? Ken Starr and Joe DeGenova join us in a moment on that. But first tonight, freedom of speech. A lot of people voted for Donald Trump in the hope that they would have more of it. But 2 years in, the opposite has happened. Our ruling class has clamped down as never before on personal expression. Gone is the free exchange of ideas we were promised as Americans. It was supposed to be our birthright, remember? But in its place now, mandatory soul-deadening conformity. An entire population forced to repeat the same mindless platitudes or else. An axis of left-wing corporate power, academia, the media, and lawmakers have all aligned to curb your right to speak freely, which is to say, your right to think for yourself. When they control your words, they control your mind. The left used to deny that that was their goal. They're not pretending anymore. They're baring their teeth and snarling. Get in line or we'll hurt you. In a speech on Monday night, CEO Tim Cook pledged that Apple, one of the biggest and most powerful companies in the history of the world, will do whatever it takes to silence dissenting opinion.
Hate tries to make its headquarters in the digital world. At Apple, we believe that technology needs to have a clear point of view on this challenge. There is no time to get tied up in knots. That's why we only have one message for those who seek to push hate, division, and violence. You have no place on our platforms.
Hate. It's a real thing. There's a lot of it out there right now. But hate is also the word they use for views they don't like or questions they can't answer. Cook's real message is simple. We are holy, you are fallen, shut up and obey. CEOs didn't used to talk like this. They were in the business of selling products, not preaching sermons. Then, over time, conventional religion receded from public life, and people like Tim Cook and his fellow CEOs stepped forward to fill that void. It was not an upgrade. Apple has a lot more power than the Episcopal Church ever had, and much less humility and much less restraint. Leaders 100 years ago could tolerate dissent. They thought God would sort it out in the end. They didn't have to. Members of our modern ruling class consider themselves God. They render their own judgment. They view disagreement as equivalent to apostasy, an attack on the one true faith. In New York, to name but one example among many, a new bill in the state legislature would ban anyone who says something politicians don't like from buying a firearm. Prospective gun owners would be required to give up their passwords and to show their social media accounts to regulators who would inspect them for unapproved thoughts. Sound like something the Chinese military thought up? Yes, it does. But Democrats are not apologizing for it. Listen to one of the sponsors of the bill explain.
If we make this law and you have to, allow the state government to, in fact, look at your social media posts, you could decide on whether you want a pistol license or not. You don't have to have a pistol license.
That's true. You don't. You don't have to vote either, or go to church of your choice, or be tried by a jury of your peers. What other constitutional rights will soon be contingent on saying the right things?